Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today is, it's going to be kind of a busy day, kind of a easy day, I don't know. We're going to be doing a lot of talking. I think that's the general gist of today's stream. We have just got a new speed box, which is, it's an interesting one. I think a lot of people are probably going to avoid this box. It's interesting for me, because it's got dinosaurs in it, right? I like dinosaurs. I don't think that's a secret, right? I think everyone kind of understands that at this point. We have this sort of relationship where everyone kind of knows if there's dinosaurs in the game, I kind of want to use the dinosaurs. That's just kind of me. There's also DDD. DDD is a big anime deck. I think a lot of people really, really like DDD. Obviously, DDD has this reputation of being a sort of big brain deck. There was like the spreadsheets and the flowcharts going around before about how to like play the deck optimally, although the deck's kind of always been a bit lackluster. It's had like a few stints of being like pretty good, but for the most part DDD's been kind of And then there's Valmonica, which is, you know, for everyone who likes the cute girls, you know, the monos of the world, as it were. So we got all of that. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I want to look through that box, I want to talk about it a little bit, and I do want to open that box, but I don't have many gems on the speed account. So we're just going to kind of see what happens. I'm not feeling confident we're going to have a full dino deck ready to go out of it, but we'll see what we will. We at least want to get Lars, we want to get some of the new Xeno stuff. Beyond that, we also have some new leaks, we have some new announcements, we do know that some new Rush cards are coming, some new Speed cards are coming, we are going to talk about all that. And we also do want to go over our new Rush tier list, because we have had some new tournaments since the new box has come out. And so we want to talk about all of that. That is what we're going to be doing today. And hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. But first things first, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. So we have, God, there's a lot of chat today. We have Darth Victor with the first. Hello, hello, Darth Victor. Welcome, welcome. We have Baj in the chat. Hello, hello, Baj. How are you doing, my friend? We have Neo X Noah. Oi, tomato morning. Hello, Neo. Welcome, welcome to the chat. We have John Jones. Hello, hello, John. Welcome, welcome on in. We have Monosync. We're doing exclamation mark Mono in the chat. We've always got to give a shout out to the boys. Welcome, welcome on in, Mono. Hope you're having a good day. 6th week at Tomato. It's 5th or 6th actually. Blah, 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 blah. How you doing, Mono? Doing fine. That's always good. Nose hurts. Accidentally running straight into a bathroom door. I would recommend not doing that, generally. But I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you to live your life, right? So you do you. You do you. New speed deck. Seems like you're having fun. Val is horrible. Oh no, that's not ideal. Though I did draw the God Hand with Val. Dino's the only one I've got a win streak with at 3. Okay, I mean, Dinos look pretty cool. I've been watching Icy. So no, I'll do an exclamation mark Icy. Icy is actually streaming right now, so if you do want to see some of the new box decks being played right now, I'd recommend you hop over to him, because, I mean, Icy's just a lovely guy, really, isn't he? Let's be honest. DDD is good because it's one card amazing combo, though Droll stops the combo. Well, that's less than ideal. The other thing is, those two decks, the Dinos and the DDDs, are both decks that don't really play a ton of back row. Like, the DDD will set up a bunch of contracts and then use their new Machine X to send the contracts to the graveyard as a requirement to use his effect, right? Which means both of those decks get destroyed so hard by Sphere and Lava Golem, and that makes me so sad. That makes me actually just so sad. We have a human Portuguese dub fan. No way they will make Card Trooper a ranked reward. I mean, they might do. They absolutely might do. Spoiler alert, that has now been, like, confirmed. It's gone from, like, database modification to now, like, actually leaked. So it's like, it's gone from, like, one tier of leaked to, like, the next tier of leaked, which means it's almost guaranteed coming out. That's basically how that works. Don't ask me how that actually does work. I'm not a data miner, but that's how it works. Just saving for Rush, don't really care about big evil demons or extinct dinosaurs. But there's cute girls as well, Mono. You love cute girls. That's your thing. How can you say that? Nah, it's Varling time. Because the event cards are announced. I mean, yeah, it has to be something, right? We know it's coming out. The most logical place would be ranked reward, right? Most logical place. It's not new when good stuff is in ranked rewards. Look at Freed Busy Day. Yapping on Tomato stream. I know it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Who would ever think that would happen? We have Rarity Fangirl in the chat as well. We're doing exclamation mark Rarity. Always have to give the shout outs. Rarity, by the way, has been doing... it's Tomodachi Life is the game, right? That game, by the way, has like taken over my feed. If I'm on any social... If I'm on YouTube, is like the primary one. I'm just getting fed so many like shorts and videos of people playing Tomodachi Life and like putting specific characters into it. The way that Rarity's been doing it, she's been doing Yu-Gi-Oh characters. Like it started off with mainly like Rush Duel characters. Now it's kind of expanded into just Yu-Gi-Oh characters in general. But it has been so much fun to watch. I actually do love that content. I think that game is just a really cool game. And it's kind of one of the like big games at the moment on like the social media kind of platforms. So I think it's going to remain to be big for probably another week or so, and then it'll probably die down. But at the moment, it's really fun. Did we get leaks for Rush? We did. One card, though. But, you know, we'll take it. We will take it. We will always take it. It might not be a lot of leaks, but it's a leak, and we take that. Icy was playing Dinos when I left. Yeah, Icy's been flip-flopping between all of the decks, I think. The only thing he hasn't tried yet is DDD, because he doesn't have all the cards for it yet. We have Whistling Bird in the chat. Hello, Whistling Bird. It is tomato time. It's always tomato time. That's just how we do here. Duel Links China just announced that they are limiting Sphere and Lava to 3. It's about time. We should have got that with the latest update, right? But it's annoying. Not right now. What do you mean, Baj? We got one. We got one card. It's great. Tomodachi Life is peak. Thank you for coming to my streams. I mean, it's just entertaining content, right? If the content is entertaining, I will be there. The only problem is, I have had very little free time lately. I had a very busy week last week. So if I'm ever watching a stream right now, it's while I'm also playing something. Because I want to play games, right? I want to use what little free time I have in the week to play video games, right? So whenever I'm watching a stream, I'm playing a game at the same time. So I'm mostly lurking. Because I'm like, it's kind of like playing game, stream, right? Like first monitor, second monitor. So I can't, like, be fully engaged the entire time. But it is genuinely a lot of fun. Like, a lot of fun. Tomato should make a clickbait ritual coming video with Pogface and red arrows. I don't really like clickbait. I am fine with videos that don't lie, right? So, as long as what I say is accurate, it is not false, not a false statement. I think that's fine. It's when, like, you just lie and get people to click the video that I don't like it personally. But, yeah. Other people can do what they want, right? It's just not what I'm at. Not there. Just not what I am about. Did Tomodachi get re-released? Yeah, it's just had a new game come out. Oh, yeah, cards. New one for the Switch. Exactly. Yeah, Icy is missing Kepler and Slime. Those are quite big. Those are quite important cards, though. What leak are we talking about? I mean, we'll go through them in a minute, right? Cool. The stuff people can make in that game is super nice. Yeah, it's because if you get someone that actually can draw, and yeah, drawing is like, it's a loose term because realistically, you're using the Switch to draw it. So I don't even know if we can really call it drawing. If you're someone who is artistically inclined and you can spend a long time like drawing the hair and make everyone's face look accurate to like what the characters look like, it looks so good. There's been a lot of like VTubers that have been putting their own characters in, and they spend like hours making sure everything is like pixel perfect, and those look absolutely incredible. That's the only reason I don't have any interest in playing Tomodachi Life, because my artistic skill would make every character I try to put in look awful, like actually just awful. So I think it would not get the same kind of effect out of it that I would be going for, but it is what it is. Water pipe leaks. Exactly. So the water is rushing out. Yep, that is exactly what's happening. It's not clickbait if it's true. Someday. Hello, Corey. Welcome. Yes, there's fish inside, probably. Hello, Ursus as well. Welcome on in, Ursus. You can't play without Kepler and Slime. That's like the main combo starters. I gotta go. I need to go and make some food. I'll leave Pepper here. Entertain him. Oh, excellent. We'll just leave the pupper. Alright, let's hop over and let's start talking about all of this cool new stuff. So first things first, we have the new box. President of Machine X. Now usually, going through the box would take a very long time, but it's a speed mini box, so this shouldn't take very long at all. So we have the Val monikers. We went through these a little bit when they were leaked. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't really care about Valmonica, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know. I feel bad if anyone here is like a big Valmonica fan. I just don't care. It's like a Pendulum Link archetype. They only have 2 Pendulum monsters, and they are Pendulum scale 5 and 3, so you have to summon 4s off of them. The deck seems like neat. Like it's interesting-ish, I guess. It's not for me. It's just not for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The other 2 decks in here are way more interesting, specifically to me. Leak, where's the leak? We'll get to the leak. Damn it. I can't leave when speed. It's so weird to see President in the name of the box. Well, it's because it's the DDDs, right? Like, it's the whole DDD archetype is, you know, that sort of vibe, right? Like, it's weird, but yeah. Pen best deck, trust. I like pens, but Val is just going to be Traptrix 2.0, and not even that. Like, we have cool dinos and DDD in the box. Who cares about Valmonica? That's how I feel. So, we're going to go straight over to Transcendosaurus Meteorus, who is an amazing card. 3,500 attack, level 12, dinosaur. Cannot be normal summoned or set. I don't know who's trying to normal summon or set this, but okay. Must be special summoned by a card effect. During your opponent's turn quick effect, you can destroy 2 other dinosaur monsters in your hand and or field, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Transcendosaurus Meteorus once per turn. So this is a cool card, but we're not going to be using it. I guess you will use this a lot in this deck, but like in a weird way. We'll get to it. I guess we'll do all the dino stuff first, and then we'll come back to the DDD. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing. So, Ivolzol Lars. So this is generic. All you need is 2 level 6s. So that's already very interesting. I think some people have already started putting this to DDD. But while this card has material, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects. So in some ways, that's a really good effect. Not being able to be targeted is generally a good thing. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, or just 1 material. If all of this card's materials are reptile and or dinosaur, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects to the end of this turn. So, this, if you use 2 dinosaurs to make it, is 2 Omni Negates whenever a card or effect is activated. And you can target anything as long as it's face up. So this is really cool. Let's try and catch up with chat a little bit. The dino looks ripe to turn into lava. Yeah, that is the issue. That is always going to be the issue. I tried it in DDD, raise his hand, it worked okay. Well, that's good. But this card is really, really good just in general. But moving on. Xeno Meteorus. So, this is one of the cards that... I guess we should also bring up the trader updates. This is going to be important. This is one of the cards that we need for the skill. So, I guess we'll go through the skill quick, because this is, again, kind of relevant. You can only use this skill's second and third effects once per duel. During your turn, you cannot normal or special summon, excluding special summon extra deck monsters, except dinosaur monsters. Effect number 2, we can reveal a Xeno Meteorus, or Ground Xeno, from your hand, and shuffle 1 level 2 dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. So that should be add. I don't know why it says shuffle, but it does. Then add 4 different dinosaur-type monsters from outside of your deck to the extra deck. So that is the cards that are on screen. It adds the Fusion, the Synchro, the Xyz, and the Link monster. And we can send 1 monster, excluding effect monsters, from your extra deck to the graveyard to set 1 Super Soaring from outside of your deck to the field. And this card can be activated this turn. Then you can banish a Transcendosaurus Meteorus. So, this is important because we get to grab Super Soaring, and Super Soaring's effect is target 1 dinosaur monster that's banished or in either graveyard and special summon it. So, we immediately banish Transcendosaurus Meteorus. We can immediately bring it back with Super Soaring, which then triggers Meteorus' effect, which then sends a dinosaur from our deck to the graveyard. So we're going to fill up our graveyard with dinosaurs. That's quite easy. We can specifically get whatever dinosaur we want into the graveyard. So this could, for example, be Misk. Because we already have Misk plus 1 other dinosaur in graveyard, because in order to activate this effect, we had to send a monster excluding an effect monster to the graveyard. Well, that is going to be... most likely... what is it? It's a level 6 Fusion. This guy. Brachioradius. This is a non-effect fusion monster. So we can send this to the graveyard. So we're going to have that in the graveyard. We're going to have, it could be a Misk if we want to have the Misk. Then we can immediately use Misk, go into a 1, which would either be Archosaur, or we could go 2 and go into Baby. So we can go into either, or I guess Pterodon, but it's basically the same thing. Pterodon, it's just more babies, let's be honest. So already this skill is pretty cool, but we only get to do this part of the effect if we have Xeno Meteorus or Ground Xeno. So these are the cards we really want to get our hands on. So that's why I would personally play this as a 3 of. But this is a level 6 monster. If a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, this should be very, very easy because dinosaurs should be popping their own cards literally all the time. So for example, if we open this card, we can activate the skill, reveal this, grab out a baby. Then we could do our generic combo, send monster to the graveyard, get the Transcendosaurus Meteorus in the banish, then use our trap card, bring it back, use its effect, send Misk to the graveyard, activate Misk, bring out Arch effect, pop the baby that we searched, then we can use Baby's effect to summon a monster, and use Xeno's effect to summon itself. And you see what I mean? There's so much going on, right? You just suddenly do so much in one turn, and it's kind of crazy. Especially since, getting out Xeno, it's a level 6. So if we are able to use its effect, which is during the main phase, you could destroy a dinosaur monster in your hand or field, which again, off of Baby, we could go into, another Baby or a Pterodon, right? We could then pop that, get another summon. This then summons out a normal monster from our deck, so we could get out a Glaciosaurus, which is another level 6. Then we can overlay these two into Lars. So there is just so much you could do with this, so much. And I think it's such a cool deck. Literally never seen this Transcendosaurus theme before, but they look cool as fuck. They are really cool. I really like them personally. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard have one thing in common: destroy your own dino cards. Exactly, Ari. Exactly. I actually have. I wonder if I can get them quickly. I do. So I didn't play. I wanted to play dinosaurs in physical Vanguard more, but I couldn't. Let me go into big screen real quick. There's a slight diversion. Don't worry about it. But I do have some of the Vanguard, the OG dinosaurs from the first couple of sets. Now these were never playable because unfortunately, the first wave of the Vanguard dinosaurs were just kind of a bit crap. You needed the second wave really until they got really good. But I do have a lot of the OG Vanguard dinosaurs, which unfortunately not going to go into focus, but it is what it is. So I personally, I've always loved the dinosaurs, and if I could play some Tachikaze, I would love to, but unfortunately. Man, if only we had a card to make all dinos immune to effects. Pog Tachikaze feels mega bad that Zero never made that deck properly playable. I played Tachikaze in Zero at the end of Break Ride format, and I played it in Legion format, and then we just never got their strides. We just never got them. They just never came out. And I was like, what? Why are you doing this to me? But I played it. I liked them. They weren't super competitive, but I still played them and liked them, right? But yeah, Xeno Meteorus is absolutely fantastic. The other thing you could do with this is grab a level 4 normal monster and then overlay that into something else. But having a normal monster in rotation is quite important for some of the other effects that we will get into. Next up, we have Ground Xeno. Add a dinosaur tuner or dinosaur normal monster from your deck to your hand, then destroy one card in your hand. So this is another reason to have more normal monsters in the deck. It can be quite important. But the other effect is, you could banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon a dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as material. You can only use each effect of Ground Xeno once per turn. So the monster will summon, off of the fusion summon, would be Transcendosaurus Gigantozoula. So this card's really cool. 3800 attack. It's made using any dinosaur and any normal. So that's why we need to run at least one normal. If this card is special summoned, you can target a dinosaur monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's just a 3+1. Then if this card was special summoned from the graveyard, you can destroy 2 cards. So that second effect seems a bit weird, right? But if this card is destroyed, which don't forget, we can destroy our own cards quite easily, we can shuffle a normal monster from our graveyard into the deck, then summon this card. Then, because it's been summoned by its own effect after we've popped it ourselves, it then gets its first effect to destroy any 2 cards on the field, which is so good. It's so good. Did the ad just skip all the Vanguard talk? I mean, maybe. I mean, I could go back. All I was saying is, we played Tachikaze. I was a Tachikaze player. Physically, I never played Tachikaze. I have some of the cards, but I never got to play it physically. On Vanguard Zero, I played it in Break Ride era, and I played it in Legion era. It was fun. It was fun. But, so one of the things you can do is, if you're going first, you could make a Gigantozauler by using the Grand Xeno second Graveyard effect. Then, if you have a UCT, you could pop the Gigantozauler during your opponent's turn to flip your opponent's cards down. Then Gigantozauler will summon itself back from the graveyard and pop 2 cards. So this is potentially a Book of Eclipse and a pop 2, if you can set the board up correctly, which is kind of wild. But the only issue is, because the only way we're getting that normal monster in rotation realistically is off of Xeno Meteorus, it means we wouldn't be able to go into Lars. So you kind of have to make the decision, are we making Lars or are we making the Gigantozauler? But still pretty cool. That is kind of it for the new Dino stuff. There isn't really anything else to talk about. That is kind of everything. But what this now means is we are actually very close to having like the full Dino package. What we're missing now is going to be the Jirac stuff. So we're missing Megalo. We're missing Stego. If we get these two, this deck is going to go hard. Especially Megalo. Megalo is so big. Because one, it's a tuner. So you can search it off of the Xeno spell, which is really good. And then this effect is, if you control a dinosaur monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, you can discard 2 cards, including a Jirac card, and draw 2 cards. That's nice. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 Jirac monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except Megalo. And then is it Stego's effect is the crazy one? During the main phase, you can destroy 1 card you control, and if you do, send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can special summon any number, this is it, any number of Jirac monsters from your hand and or deck whose total levels equal the sent monster's level, ignoring their summoning conditions. So this is kind of crazy, because with this, we can just spam the board full of stuff. Now, in Duel Links, this isn't going to be as good, because we only have 3 monster slots, but there was a lot of stuff you could do before. What's the main deck monster? What do you mean? What do you mean, what's the main deck monster? You're going to have to be a bit more specific there, Victor, because we've already talked about the only 2 main deck monsters. Read the Jirac cards. 1 dinosaur monster, special summon any number of Jirac monsters from your hand or deck whose total levels. Not that one. During your main phase. I don't know what we're talking about here, Victor. I'm not entirely sure where we're reading this. Dinosaur effect main deck. Oh, right. That's for this, right? That's just for searching. So if you filter, you can filter by main deck, right? That's just a back end thing. I wouldn't worry about it too much. That's just because the cards aren't out yet. Moving on to the DDDs. So this is the new big sexy one. This is the face of the box, DDD Deviser King Deus Machine X. I don't know if we're ever going to use this pendulum effect, so we're going to skip straight to its actual effect. You can also Xyz this card using a DDD monster you control as material. So what we've been seeing is people go into DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh, which is quite easy to get out, and then you just overlay that on top of this. If you control 1 DDD Deviser King Deus Machine X in your monster zone, once per chain, when a monster effect your opponent controls activates its effect, quick effect, you can either detach 2 materials from this card or destroy 1 dark contract you control. If you do, attach that opponent's card to this card as material. So this is kind of a like relinquished or like a plasma type effect where it just like yoinks your opponent's stuff. I suppose it's not quite that, because that attaches as like an equip spell. What's a good example of this? Like Honor Arc, right? It's kind of an Honor Arc effect, I guess. You would never put Deus in the Pendulum Zone. Yeah, so I've played DDD before, but my DDD experience is very limited. I played them when they very, very first came out during Xyz format, like during, you know, Zexal format. And then I played Limited with them when the Arc came out. That is like it. That is my entire DDD history. So like, I like the deck. Obviously, I'm a big fan of like Declan or Reiji from the anime, but like I've never sat down and played like the full DDD deck. So Silent Honor up basically. Holy card text, Batman. Hello, Duel Links Alpha. How are you doing, my friend? I haven't managed to catch any of your streams lately because your streams for me are very early in the morning. But how are you doing? We'll give you the shout out there. It doesn't have to be special summoned. You have to worry about that. We don't worry about that. But looking at the other DDD cards, we have Griffin. So this is one of the ones we were talking about before, right? So Pendulum Effect, you can target a fiend monster you control, that gains 500 attack at the end of this turn for each Dark Contract spell trap with different names on your field or in your graveyard, then destroy this card. This can be good to like find lethal lines sometimes, I guess. Monster Effect, if you control a DD monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. If this card is Pendulum summoned, you can discard one DD or Dark Contract card to draw a card. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can add a DD card from your deck to your hand, except DD Griffin. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, it seems like a good card. This seems like one of the better DD main deck monsters. Easy skip box. No, Serena, it's a cool box. We like this box. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I've been very busy the last week or so. But other than that, quite good. Is what used to open the combo. I see, I see. So then we have Savant Copernicus. Pendulum Effect. You cannot pendulum summon monsters except DD monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once, while this card is in your pendulum zone, you can negate an activated spell effect that would inflict damage to you and destroy this card. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one DD or Dark Contract card from your deck to the graveyard except Savant Copernicus. You can only use the effect of DD Savant Copernicus once per turn. Telling us to skip the box so they don't have to play against it. I see what's going on. Well, the thing is, there is... I couldn't recommend people go into this box. Alright, first off, you shouldn't take my recommendations for speed anyway, right? If I recommend you something rush, maybe that has a bit of weight to it. If I recommend you something speed, you should be taking that with the biggest pinch of salt of all time, right? However, both of the decks that I would play from here, Dinosaurs and DDD, again, they get hard countered by Lava Golem and Sphere Mode. And those cards are just seeing so much play right now that I just don't know if I could actually recommend this. This box is kind of air. The lack of Plunder Patrol and Goatee shows Konami does not want their gems or money. What do you mean? There's cool decks in here. We're getting Brave Max in the tag door. That's fine. DDD really gets everything this box, and I have save for Rush, Machine X, Griffin, Field Spell, the newest wave of support, Gilgamesh, and Copernicus. Crazy. I'm not playing tag. I'm never seeing Brave Max again. Well, then you're going to have to leave all of those gemmies on the table. I hate him. As someone who likes to spend money on Duel Links for no real gain, go all in, everyone. There you go. That's what we need to do. I mean, don't you want extra copies of Doodle Beast Tyranno? Come on, guys. Tomato's saying maybe my recommendations count for us. Tomato did say don't sell yourself shirt. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, I will always try and be as much of a realist as possible. And to be fair, you should always go into anything with an open mind. And you should always logically come to your own conclusions, right? Someone could recommend you stuff all they want, but you should still use your own brain at the same time, right? That's the way I kind of look at it. Get to doodling, everyone. Exactly. Also, you can't get Sacred Tower. I mean, I don't think that's going to be too bad, realistically. Alright, DDD, Super Doom King, Purple, Armageddon. So, Pendulum Effect. I'm not even going to read the Pendulum Effect. I'm sorry. Unless the effect says, put this in your Pendulum Zone. Oh god, it does say that. We're going to have to read the Pendulum Effect. We'll do that afterwards. Alright, so made using any two DDD monsters. So that's any two of the extra deck monsters. I don't think any of the main decks are DDD, right? I think they're all DD. I think so. You could target one attack position monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. Is that half or is that a quarter? Like, how does that work in Duel Links? You can only use the effect of DDD Super King Purple Armageddon once per turn. Before damage calculation, if an opponent's monster battles, you can make its attack become equal to its original attack until the end of the damage step. Okay, that's like the most anime-specific effect of all time. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in the Pendulum Zone. And then the Pendulum Effect, once per turn before damage calculation, if your DDD Fusion monster battles an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose 1,000 attack. I don't know if that's worth giving it up, but maybe. Maybe. Hello, Hit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's no main deck DDDs. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a bunch of DDD main deck. So I'm now getting conflicting information. 1/4 of it's not already changed. Doom Armageddon is like Tomato, I do not exist. I mean, who's Doom Armageddon? Is that the level 8, like, main deck pendulum monster, maybe? Again, I don't really care about the Valmonicas. Exoraptor doesn't really matter. Is there anything else in it that matters? Vice King Requiem? Let's take a look at this guy. Oh no, he is a DDD. So here we have a DDD main deck. We have one. It's Mila Nesso. Hello, Mila. Welcome, welcome on in. Both said there's DDDs in main deck. Did I? Ah. See, I read that as there's no main deck DDDs. That's my fault. The blame is entirely on me there. It is entirely on me. Level 8 Pendulum, Reiji's main Pendulum. I remember he used it, I think, in like one episode. I don't remember him using it again. So this guy is a level 8. You cannot special summon monsters except DDD monsters. A DDD monster that was fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summoned using this card on the field as material gains the following effect. Okay. You can only use the preceding effect of DDD Vice King Requiem once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one card on the field, shuffle one Dark Contract from your field or graveyard into the deck, and if you do, destroy that target and gain 1,000 life points. Okay. And in the Pendulum effect, you can target any number of Dark Contract cards you control, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card from your Pendulum zone. Then you can increase or reduce this card's level by the number of cards destroyed. Okay, so you're probably going to use that top effect, and then use the bottom effect afterwards, I would imagine, if we're using this card at all. DDD finally meta. I personally, with my limited knowledge of speed, do not think DDD is going to be, like, super meta. I think it'll be fine. Like, it'll probably be, like, a nice, like, high rogue kind of deck. But I would not expect this to suddenly be, like, a really strong tiered deck. Just reading these cards. So, I hope it does well. But at the moment, I'm just not feeling it. Some of the main deck DDD, and there's more Armageddon, Apocalypse, Leonidas, King Kaiser, Zero Laplace, Abyss Ragnarok, Requiem, Zero Maxwell, Pendragon. That sounds like there's a lot. It does sound like there's a lot. Missed opportunity of not calling that first normal rarity DDD Ruler of. If only. If only. Wait. Is that Griffin? Yes, we have Griffin. We do indeed have Griffin. Our new cards, we have King Deus Machine X, we have Griffin, we have Copernicus, we have Doom King Purple Armageddon, and DDD Vice King Requiem, along with Scale Surveyor. I believe that's all of the DDDs. It will at least be High Rogue. The only way I'll lose to DDD is not reading them. I mean, to be fair, some of these cards have a lot of text on them. Like, look at how much text is on that card. Like some of these cards have an insanely large amount of text. Like, let's compare it to, like, I don't know. Actually, to be fair, a lot of these cards have a lot of text on them. There we go. This is a good amount of text on a card right there. You see that? Ah, what a beautiful trap card. You missed the link to DDD. That's rare. Oh, down here. There we go. The DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh. We spoke about this at the start, so, like, I'm not too worried about this one. But if this card is special summoned, you can activate the effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except DD monsters, or place 2 DD Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck in your Pendulum zones. And if you do, take 1,000 damage. If this link card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster or by effect, while this is in monster zone, you can special summon 1 DD monster from your extra deck, or graveyard in defense position. So you want to use this, get your pen scales, and then probably overlay this into Deus Machine X, and I guess that's like the main combo. Valmonica? Yeah, we have the Valmonica stuff. Again, I don't really know Valmonica. I don't really get Valmonica, so, like, I'm not going to cover all of the cards here. As long as DDD can't beat Plasma and DPE, I don't need to read them. I mean, that is valid. That is valid. Icy Gamer rating. Hello. Icy. We'll do an exclamation mark. Icy. We did already do an Icy Gamer. I've also... thank you for telling me, Twitch, that I am raiding myself right now because because we were watching Icy stream. But hello, Icy. So, in your opinion, Icy, after playing some of the new decks, which one do you think is the best one? I am curious. Like, again, I don't think you've played much DDD, but after like talking with people about DDD, maybe you played against DDD. I know that you played some Valmonica, you played some Dinos. Do you think any of them are like meta relevant? Do you think like one of them stands out as being better than the others? DDD looks kind of crazy. It's like people were saying in this chat though, right? Does it matter how good DDD is if they can't beat Lava Golem, Sphere Mode, or Floodgates, right? It's like, as Serena said, if you can't beat DPE plus Plasma, are you a real deck, right? I choose not to open the deck except for Chronicle Chips and continue playing Strikers. I mean, that is very you, Badge. That is very you. Yeah, it's DDD if something. I want to believe in the dinosaurs. I really do. I do love the dinosaurs, and I think we have. Like, the dinosaurs we have here are good, right? But I don't know if, like, Lars Turbo is enough, right? It's a weird one. Valmonica meh unless they gave him a broken skill. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well. As much as DDD is interesting for me, I don't care. Oh, that is a shame, Badge. That is a shame. I think Dinos could be really good. Lars is broken. Yeah, Lars is kind of crazy. I still need Dolka, though. Is it Dolka the one that I don't have? I think it's Dolka, right? We were talking about Direct cards earlier. I still need Dolka. But it's only in Selection Box 7, and I've run out of Selection Box 7 cards. Or packs. So I'm like, I don't want to spend money for this when, like, theoretically, this should be right around the corner. Like, in my mind, this probably should have been in this box. But like, it makes me just not want to play it because I just don't have that one card. People don't really run that card. But are they not running it because they don't have it? That's the other question, right? It should come out next month. I mean, ideally it will, right? I want to believe in the dinosaurs is a wild comment to make in 2026. It's fine, it's fine. Just give me rush stuff. Based, Xeno, Dino support, yay. Wait, no, Baronessa. Which one's Baronessa? Let me have a look quick. Well, I don't think it's any of these ones. I don't know what Baronessa is. If anyone could translate that, that would be fantastic. That much. It should come out next month. I have like 5 of it. You can take my copies. I would love your copies. I've got 2 copies of, the trap card. What's it called? Imperm. I've got 2 Imperm, which I've just sat on. Haven't done anything with. Dark Contract with Patent License. Deus Machine X plus another boss board. Easy. Someone needs to think about the baby. No, we need to keep popping it. Every time. Fossil Dig isn't out either. The thing is, I have 3 Fossil Digs, so that doesn't matter. I'm good to go on Fossil Dig. I think Fossil Dig is just staying selection box locked. Baronessa, I think it's spelled. Let's have a look. Baron... Oh, is it because I got main selected here? Am I like... I can't work if I'm spelling it like completely wrong. Unless it's just not in here. It might just not be in the game file here. Let me have a look at over here quick. Baronessa. Yu-Gi-Oh! Because apparently Baronessa is some sort of... All it's giving me is Baron de Fleur. Is Baronessa just Baron de Fleur? His English name is Baron de Fleur. I was going to say, I know Baron de Fleur. I know Baron. Although I don't think it's actually in here, ironically. But yeah, everyone knows Baron, right? Did you read the new Contact Field spell that came out with the same wave of support like Machine X and Griffin? No, I haven't read it. I think Fossil Dig is just like selection box, yeah. But yeah, this box I think is cool. I like it. I like this box. I think it's cool. I don't think the majority of people are probably going to go into it, so it makes me kind of sad. And we are going to open this box. I guess... Right. I think... out of a abundance of, there's probably people who care about speed here and not rush. And I don't want to keep going like speed into rush into speed into rush. We're going to do the pack opening now, I think. Because I do want to open some of these packs. So we are going to go to the shop. Now, this shouldn't take very long. We don't have many packs to open. So we are just going to immediately hop in and open some of these packs. So this should be a discount, right? 15 and box chips of 100. I'm pretty sure this is a... Because it's what? It's 50 packs per one. So that's 750. So this works out as exactly the same, right? As if I just bought 15 packs. It's 750. I'm pretty sure, right? Mechlord comment. Oh, did I miss a Mechlord comment? This is the closest box name we'll ever get to CEO of... Yeah, I guess. Sure. Alright, we're going to go ahead. Did you get the 500 gems? Yes, I did already get the 500 free gems. Alright, let's see what we get. Now, what we're after, spoiler alert, is the dinosaurs. So, what I want to get is 2 or 1 copy of the UR. That's going to be probably mandatory. And we're looking to get 2 copies of... God, what is the card even called? The SRs. The Spell and the Xeno. I mean, this is irrelevant. We don't need that card. I mean, that might be relevant in the future, but right now that's not relevant. Because the skill's going to add that anyway. Flower Dino. Come on. Come on. Give me something I want. Well, we're not going to get anything we want here, guys. Makes me sad. I opened the box and got a bunch of the new Pend deck. Are they good? From what I've seen, no. But... yeah, we do not have show emote in here, unfortunately, Milanesso. Alright, we go again. 500 gems. No. Oh, that's not the right color card. Well, we got a Vara. That's neat, I suppose. Come on. Come on. Give me the cards. I need these cards. Come on. Don't make me go all the way to the bottom of the box. I can't even afford to complete this box. The sad thing is, because this is a mini box, like, it's cheaper to go through the whole thing, but because I only need 1 UR, it's, like, a little bit annoying. Well, Purple Armageddon's neat, I guess. Forgot to open the 15 pack stuff. Thanks for reminding me. No problem. No and a yes. I can't tell, though, if a human, if you're just like... well, there's our first Meteorus. We needed that. I can't tell if you're just, like, really gung-ho about it. You're just like, I just really want to get this. Or if you actually think the deck's going to be good. Alright, so we need Lars and we need the Xeno spell card. Once we have those, we probably just do a reset. Well, I wasn't expecting in the first 25 packs to get everything we wanted, but it would have been really nice if that was the case. Well, actually, we're now 25 deep. So, here we go. We're now 35 deep after these packs. Come on. That's pretty good, but again, that's not really relevant because we have to reset this box twice anyway. Okay, Flower Dino. What we're really after, again, we need the spell, we need the Lars. But we don't need the Lars. We can go without the Lars, we can get the Lars on a different run-through. We just need the spell. I mean, Copernicus is cool. I do like the DDDs. If I did happen to stumble into getting enough to, like, play DDDs, I wouldn't, like, turn my nose at them, right? Build mini. This is a mini, yeah. Is there anything for Rush at the moment? Oh, no. Nothing for Rush. Nothing for Rush at the moment. Valmonica. Super Soaring. Go on. Well, I mean, yeah. We did say if we did get enough DDD stuff, we would maybe consider it. We really need that spell card. Really need that spell card. Well, there's Lars. Again, I didn't need to get a Lars here. I just need the spell card. Which means we're going to go one pack at a time now for the rest of these 2,000 gems. Come on. Come on. I believe. Who needs another 3 copies of Doodle Beast Tyranno? Apparently you're going to need 18 more copies. That's just the way it goes. Plus, Doodle Beast Tyranno is like, it's a cool card. It's not like crazy good or anything, but it's a cool card. Come on. Just give me the spell. Let me save like 40 packs. Come on. Come on, Konami. Do me a solid just this once. We don't talk about how quickly I got branded Fusion, okay? We don't talk about that. WC box. Yeah, the next box we should be getting should be the World Championship qualifying box in May, which also should come with a structure. And hopefully doesn't come with a selection. Hopefully the selection will be afterwards. Come on. It's going to be in the last pack. I hope not, because I need it. So we just have to keep opening packs till we get it. It is a 3 of. Alas, it does seem to be resisting. Come on. Save me just so many packs. Come on. Come on. If I could save like 30 packs, that would be so big. But I'm not going to be able to. We're just not. We're just not going to be able to, are we? It's annoying as well, because it's only one card we need. Now, it's inefficient to not open one by one. Come on, be a spell. That's not a spell. Did you get the gems from the quizzes? No, we haven't got the gems from the quizzes yet. I mean, regardless, we kind of knew we weren't going to be able to, like, build dinos immediately. So that's... Whoa, we got it! Alright, we saved 31 packs. That's huge. That is still big. Alright, so we need just Meteorus and Xeno. They're the only cards we need. Come on, come on. Give me something tasty. Imagine, like, first 10, we pull both. That would be so crazy. Alright, well, last chance. Oh. Well, that's done. Oh, come on, just be one of them. One of the 2 cards. One of the 2 cards, come on. There is still hope. Ah, it's Griffin. I mean, Griffin's still cool. Imagine if we had back-to-back packs gotten the 2 cards we needed there, though. Alright, this is going to be our last temple. Well, another Transcendosaurus card. Monica. Come on. Just give me something. Just give me one of them. Oh. Right, there again, there is hope. There is hope. Well, we have all the URs now, I guess. I don't think I'm ever going to use that card, but we have it. Another Flower Dino. It's always Flower Dino. Bomb. Right, last pack of the 10 pool. Ah, it's a shame. Alright, we will open these last 6 real quick. That's what we get. Time for Rex to come to character duels in 3 days. Do you think it would be Rex out of all the possible dinosaur players? Don't you think it would be more likely to be, is it Kenzen? Or Tyranno Hasselberry? Like, as the dinosaur guy, if we were going to get one? Alright, last chance. Come on. Alright. Come on. This could be it. This could be the boy. Ah, it's Copernicus. I think that's our second Copernicus go. That's neat. Unfortunately, Meteorus has eluded us this day. We got 1 copy, which is, like, nice, but it's a shame. Dino DNA! Exactly, exactly. Now, it will be the maximum guy from Rush in character duel. I mean, first off, you'd have to have Rush in Character Duel. So already, we're in the realm of weird, right? Alright, we can quickly, though, if we want to, hop in and do these quizzes. Although it's only going to get us one more pack. So maybe it's not even worth it. I don't think it's worth it. We'll do this later. We'll do this later. We don't need to do this now. This is fine. Okay. Moving on. These other skills we got are neat. I think the dinosaur one was the only one that we really need to talk about, though. So, May, upcoming updates. What do we have here? I guess we'll save the rush stuff. We'll go to the speed stuff first. We'll go back round to the rush stuff afterwards. So, Evil Tsar Leos. Dinosaur monster. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set an Evolutionary Bridge or Evil Singularity directly from your deck. During the main phase, if you control this card that was normal summoned or special summoned by the effect of a fire monster, you can send one fire reptile or dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can make two monsters on the field become the same type and level as that monster sent to the graveyard. This card is like... it's neat. I don't think you would play this card in Dinos. Maybe there's some sort of thing you could do with it. Turn your opponent's monsters into Xyz material. Damn, that's magic. No, they have modified it so you can play a speed deck only during character duels. Could you imagine? Then we have Steam Synchron. So Machine Effect Tuner level 3. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, Synchro Summon using this card you control. This is a quick effect. I mean, this is neat. Then there's Stardust Mirage. If you control a level 8 or higher dragon synchro monster, special summon as many monsters as possible from your graveyard that were destroyed and sent to your graveyard by effect or... okay. Battle or an opponent's card effect. Not your own card effects, though, I suppose. Okay. And then Soul Scissors. Everyone should know this card. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So this is... it's a fun little card. I don't know how much use it's going to get. Famously used during the Paradox Duels. I mean, that's pretty cool. Then we get to our rerun cards. So, these are going to be the Euro rerun. Against Buster. One face-up wind attribute monster with 2,000 or more attack on your field loses 500 attack until the end of this turn. Then you can destroy a spell trap on the opponent's field. So this is a really weird card, right? So this is a generic wind back row hate, but the monster has to have 2,000 or more attack, and then it loses attack to get the pop, which is weird. Why do I wake up to a new box and why is there no IP? Of course there was not going to be anything cool in it, Shui, except for awesome dinosaurs. Although I imagine, Shui, that you're, if anything, a Val Monica player out of the three. That's what I would assume. Against Buster was already in-game as an NPC card. I mean, that's fine. That's completely irrelevant to the fact that it's coming out now, though. But this card is weird. I don't know if this would see much play. I mean, it might do. But realistically, I'm not seeing it. I don't think the Wind Aggro deck probably needs this. So it's not going to see any play outside of that deck. So unless the skill that we get does something cool with this, we probably won't get it. And then Atrium's Wind, we already knew about this card. So send one wind monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw one card. If you have two or more face-up wind attribute monsters with 1,800 or more attack on the field, you can draw one additional card. So this is neat. This also, very weirdly, has a picture of Euro in the card, which is kind of weird, but yeah. No, I'm not a Val player. I mean, you could not be a Val player, but you could still like the deck, right? At this point, you got to suck it up and pull for IP in the selection. I mean, even I have IP. Come on, man. What are you doing? I'm not even a speed player. Then, we get the big one. So, Sacred Tower in Crisis. When your opponent normal summons a level 7 or higher monster, change one face-up level 8 or lower effect monster on the opponent's field to face-down defense position. So, a lot to break down with this card. When your opponent normal summons, already, kinda yikes. We don't really want to have to use this when your opponent normal summons. That makes this kind of bad immediately. The monster they normal summon has to be level 7 or higher. So we can't even use this like a trap hole, sort of. We have to use this on a boss monster that is being summoned, which means this is immediately useless against heroes. And Gradius, I guess. The effect is, we can change any face-up level 8 or lower effect monster on your opponent's field to face-down defense position. So, we can use this on a low-level monster, but only when your opponent summons a level 7 or higher, which means if there was a low-level monster whose effect we want to prevent from activating, it's probably already been activated. So, like, it's... I would make the argument, this is like... If we ignore Legends, this is now, like, maybe the 3rd best trap card. That is kind of how I look at this. Again, it depends how we think about, like, Slime as well, because Slime is also really good, but Slime is very specific. This is also kind of specific. It's good versus Rebels, I guess? Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to think of it. But even then, all you do is flip, like, a level 8 monster face down. They can still use that level 8 as a tribute fodder, so it might not even hurt Rebels too much. It's a weird one. This would have went crazy in 7's era. Now it's too late. Yes, this card did actually see a lot of play in the 7's meta, as in OCG, before Go Rush came out, this card saw play. But, you know, once we had gone past that, once we got into, like, XQT meta, no one played this card anymore. There's just no reason to. But there are some niche situations where this effect could come up. I could see some people splashing, like, one copy of this and try and catch people off guard, but it's going to depend what meta we're in, right? If we have ways to cheat bosses out, if we're not summoning high-level monsters, this is kind of going to be whatever, right? It count as Dragius? Exactly, get wrecked. Own my Joint Tech. Again, quite good against Joint Tech. It's just, it's very specific decks, right? In the current meta, I don't know how much use you'd get out of this. But it's neat that it's coming, and it's always nice to have more trap options, I suppose, right? So then we have introduction of the Enforcers as ult styles. So we did get, if we take a look at it, so we got the tag tournament in the lottery. That's where we're going to get the Sacred Tower in Crisis and the Evil Saw Leos. None of this really matters. This is the rerun event. We're going to get the Rush Duel bonus trial, which is neat. And then ult styles for certain characters will be obtainable. Proceed through the event to get Steam Synchron and Stardust Mirage. So that means we're almost certainly getting a Yusei ult style, and we did already have leaked that we were getting all 4 of these guys as ult styles, so probably going to be that. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Tag Duel Snore. I mean, Tag Duel is like, it's quite an easy, quick event to get through, so I don't dislike Tag Duel, right? Satisfaction. Yeah. But I think this is fine. Right? Like, none of this is anything crazy, but it's fine. Then, leak time, boys. Leak time. Obtainable cards. Speed. Oni Bimaru Soul Sweeper and Evil Tile Bolus. Rush Card Trooper. And then from Tag Duel, we already know these cards. So, let's go through these. I guess we'll go through the speed ones quick. We have Oni Bimaru Soul Sweeper. A rank 2 mages in 2 level 2s. You can attach one material from this card, target one monster your opponent controls, banish it to your opponent's end phase. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target banished monsters up to the number of materials this card had and shuffle them into the deck. This is like a pretty good rank 2, to be honest. I don't know if any deck would really want this, but it's a pretty good rank 2 as far as rank 2s go. Then we have Evatile Folus, so a reptile. If a monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute 1 reptile or dinosaur monster you control instead. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon an evil tile monster from your hand or graveyard in face-down defense position. During the main phase, you can set an evil force or evo instant directly from your deck. This card is kind of mid. This card is just kind of mid. And then we get to the good card. The good card. Is bonus trial the thing where you can play the box decks for free? Yes. Sprite Bros. I don't think you'd probably make that in Sprite, but maybe? I don't know. In OCG, played in so many decks, but you can't be played in many decks in Duel Links because the skills limit often. Uh-oh, Card Trooper spotted. Join Tech support coming. I mean, potentially. Never know, right? They gave pre-made decks. Maybe it's the box ones. Yeah, usually it'll be like the new decks from the box, right? That's what they did last year. So Card Trooper. If you have 10 or more cards in your deck, send up to 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Almost always, people will choose 3. Unless your deck is very thin, or if your graveyard is already very set up. This card gains attack equal to the number of cards sent to the graveyard to meet the requirement times 500. So this is something people forget. You can actually just leave this as a 1900 attacker and kill your opponent with it. There will be some situations where you will just have lethal attacking them with a card trooper. So that is something this can do. But then you can send this card from your field to the graveyard. And if you send this card to the graveyard, draw one card. So this card is basically a normal summon, which means we can tribute it if we need to. If we have a skill that requires us to send a monster to the graveyard, so for example, I guess D-Linker skill, right? We could send this if we need to, so just having it as a body is already good. Then its effect basically says that it's Upstart Goblin, so we just get to draw one, so it just replaces itself, but we get to fill up our graveyard. So if we're playing a deck that needs you to fill up the graveyard, this is really, really good. Now, in Duel Links, I don't know if this card is going to be as useful, just because skills kind of sort out your graveyard or get you everything that you need anyway. Whereas in OCG, because there's no searching, the way that you get your cards is either you excavate and add, or you mill a load of crap into the graveyard and then tutor your graveyard, right? So because of that, I'm not sure how good this is going to be in a vacuum. I think this card has a lot of potential, and there are some decks that will be able to make great use of this. I don't think immediately this is going to be as widespread as it is in OCG. Because this card sees play in so many OCG decks. Like, so many. Almost every OCG deck can get some sort of use out of this card. So, a lot of decks will be playing Card Trooper. Well, it depends as well, right? Because a lot of decks won't let you as well. Because they like type block you. So it's weird. All 3 Tides bonus trial events come out alongside a box, so mini box confirmed for the 14th, 15th of May. I mean, potentially, absolutely possible, because that does also line up with when we would expect it. If we go and take a look at our product release schedule. So last year, it was the 9th of May is when we got the box and structure deck. So getting it on the 15th/14th, that kind of matches up timeline-wise. It's just a little bit later, right? So it makes sense. Be a good addition to my Innovator deck. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. A skill set of your graveyard, right there in the corner. Gradius is crying. For its skill doesn't set up its graveyard. They have multiple options, but they get nothing. You say that, but Gradius has latched onto the Avarice skill and is having a great time right now. So I think it's completely fine with that. A Card Trooper is a bundle or ranked reward? Because... I mean, it could be a bundle. My gut is telling me ranked reward, but it could be a bundle. Absolutely could be. I would imagine if this was going to be a bundle card, we would have got this leaked along with the box it's coming out with. And because we haven't got those cards leaked, like this new box, I don't think this is going to be a bundle. But it still could be. Absolutely could be. That's why it's the best card for Guardius. Exactly. So then we also got this. This is the NPC card for Tag NPC. So basically, this is shooting down a lot of the cards that we thought we might get. So for example, Rebuild Drake. We did think this card might be coming out. Turns out it's an NPC card, but that's why, you never take the leaks at face value. So that's neat. The only other card in here that I think is worth talking about is Sea Dragon Knight. Sea Dragon Knight, if that actually came out, would be really cool. It's a bit of a shame that it isn't, but it is what it is. And we are going to take this opportunity to descend the desk, because my little leggies are getting tired. So, moving on from there, we're going to take a look at the metagame, because this is something we haven't done in a while. I say that, we look at the metagame pretty much all the time. But what we are going to be doing is making another tier list. So, everyone has their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions on where everything should go here. Did Tomato become taller? I mean, I am usually the same height badge. I haven't really changed my height in probably the last 12 years. So, another big L for high tech? I mean, do we mind? Does anyone mind that high tech gets shafted? Because I don't. I'm going to skip past this one. This song has been coming on so much recently. Let's see what we get into here. Never mind, he shrunk. That's just how it be. The metagame. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So this was our last tier list. And this was pretty much spot on. Like, what was wrong in this tier list? This was maybe in the wrong place. This like, underperformed. Actually, I think this is pretty much spot on as to the last meta. Now, going into this meta, this is going to have to change a lot, because a lot of things have changed. But, let's take a gander. So, get the old pie chart up. Everyone loves a good old pie chart. Red Eyes Meteor is currently the top performing deck in tournament play, followed by Gradius, then Royal Rebel, then High Tech. So, for me, because the biggest change in the new meta is that we have the new trap card, right? We have Star Protector's Protection. Because of that, technically, Red Eyes should be weaker. However, it's still performing very, very well. I don't think that trap card actually shuts this deck down at all. It just is a bit of a hindrance. So, although it theoretically makes this deck weaker, I don't think it actually matters too much. And we've also seen people playing a lot of Shiny Shady still. And the more that Shady seems play, the more Red Eyes is actually going to be in quite a good spot. So I think I'm actually going to bump this up to the top of tier 1. I think it reflects how it's performing in tournaments. And just the general feel of the deck. This deck still feels incredibly strong. Like, incredibly strong. 5 million decks in top tier. Hello, Voltalon. Welcome on in, by the way. I don't know what to think about Gradius. I thought the Vic Viper beginning could be put to 3 or unlimited because the dedicated skill is underwhelming. But the deck is kind of meta with 2 other skills, so will they buff it? I don't understand why Hero is underperforming. Hero is not so much underperforming too much, so much as it's not really seeing a lot of play. Like, not a lot of people are actually bringing Hero. So if we, for example, check out some of these tournaments, which ones post their representation? This one might. I know this one will. Because Badge makes these lovely. So this one had 5 Elemental Heroes, which to be fair, that is quite a lot of Elemental Hero. And this was what? Rush to Weekly 64. And in that one, we did not end up having heroes even making top 8. So that one they definitely did underperform. 100% did. Let's check out the Starry one. Does that? No, it doesn't have it. It does not have the breakdown. Feels bad. IDL 65 had 3. That's what I mean, though, right? Like, I think Hero is a weird deck where a lot of the... Again, I don't want to come across as sounding a bit like weird with this. I think there are players that enter the tournaments that consistently perform well. And those players will tend to perform well regardless of what they're on, as long as they're not playing something that's like complete meme, right? I think you generally know the players that generally tend to perform well. And if those players aren't gravitating towards heroes, generally that means heroes isn't going to be performing well. So although there can be a lot of people playing it, if it's not the strong players playing it, it's naturally not going to perform as well, right? Circulation still at 3. I mean, circulation at 3 doesn't really affect heroes. All that means is that heroes can't play the new trap card. But the new trap card isn't seeing a ton of play anyway. Like, it's seeing play, but it's not like every top 8 list is always on it, right? Last Now Cup was won by Hero. Yeah, the other problem is with Now Cup is I haven't got Now Cup in here. And the reason why is because they haven't been getting up to 16 players. So, depending on how much you value the number of players that enter the tournament, that can be more or less relevant, right? Hello, Dwan, by the way. Welcome. I don't understand why Hero is... it's like a Phase of the Moon. For a bit, they play them until exhaustion. On the other hand, they break. Do I need to start putting watermarks on my awkwardly baked breakdowns? I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little watermark. Hello, PTRG. Welcome. I, personally, still feel like Hero is a tier 1 deck. Like, the power the deck has is still really good. It can play through Star Protection really well. It's still able to threaten your opponent's back row very easily. It's just... The thing that's like pulling me away is the fact that it's underperforming in tournaments. But other than that, I still think this deck is fantastic. Personally, I think this goes up. I think red... Alright, this might just be... I'm gonna be totally real with you guys. I hate Red Boot or High-Tech Dragons. I hate this deck. I don't like it. I don't like playing it. I don't like playing against it. And it has been my kryptonite in tournaments for a very long time, where every tournament I enter, I just play against every high-tech player that has signed up. And I just get beaten down by them. And I don't like it. It's not very fun. So it might be my bias, but personally, I think this deck is really strong. It's obviously performing super well. Like, if we go look at the tournament reports, it's here, right? It's still absolutely fantastic deck. So I think it's at the very least a tier 1 or a tier 2 deck. I personally think it's a tier 1 deck. It also has the benefit of it plays through the new trap card really, really well. Again, depending on if people are actually on the new trap card or not, that can kind of shift things around a bit. I might move this out of tier 1 when we go through the rest of this list. But right now, I think this is a tier 1 deck. I think Hero should go down personally. But do you think Hero should go down just because it hasn't been doing as well in tournaments? Or do you think Hero should go down because the deck has actually gotten weaker and isn't as favoured in the current metagame? Because if you think it's the second, absolutely. If you think it's the first, then I'm like, well, tournaments don't really give you the whole story, right? It's really powerful. Yeah, just never play against high-tech somehow. I'm the high-tech magnet. Did Music Princess really fall off after the hits? It has gotten a lot worse. It has recently, like, seen a bit of playability, right? So, for example, it is here. It did get a top. So, like, it's maybe a little bit better than people will give it credit for, but it's still not in a great spot overall. Tomato doesn't like high-tech. He's more of a retro guy. Exactly. Always. Bring back the dinosaurs. That's what we need. So you have a dumb phone. My phone is actually unbelievably dumb. This thing is ancient. It is so old. It barely runs Duel Links anymore. Like, it's getting bad. I don't know if we can legally call it a smartphone anymore, to be perfectly honest. Gradius can possibly go up to tier 1, 2. It's going great in tournaments. Again, Gradius is a weird one. I don't think Gradius is a tier 1 deck. Now, alright, whenever you make a tier list, there's always going to be some sort of bias in that. That's the nature of a tier list, right? You rate things how you believe them to be power-wise. I think Gradius is a fantastic deck. I think the skill Avaricious Draw is really, really good. Because it's effectively a +2. That's fantastic. The deck has the ability to use the Avarice to recycle the fusions, which is really, really good. The deck also can beat set 3 with a combination of Curse and using a combination of Lord British and multiple, right? So it has multiple ways to actually get through set monsters, which is not bad. It's not the best way to get through set monsters, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just feel like there are a lot of situations where the Gradius deck does sort of underperform. And I don't think it is super great into the new trap card. So I think, personally, I think this deck is doing a little bit better at the moment because not everyone is playing that new trap. And we're still sort of, like, it's only been a week since the new stuff's come out, right? So we're still sort of in that experimental phase where stuff's starting to solidify. I think there is absolutely a chance that Gradius is a tier 1 deck. I think there absolutely is. If we were just entirely going off tournament results, yeah, easy tier 1. Don't even have to think about it. Slam it into tier 1. I do, however, for now, think I'm going to leave this in tier 2. Again, you might disagree with that. That is absolutely fine. My word is not law, but it is going to decide where things end up on this tier list. So what's next on here? Royal Rebel. Okay, Royal Rebel is going to be a wild one. What we're first going to do is we're going to swap this out. Because, I mean, we got progressive now, guys. Why would we be using Doom Metal when we could have progressive? Because this card looks way cooler, let's be honest. Let's be honest. So I just want the Dynamaximum support. The second Dynamaximum comes out, I'm playing that deck. Skill really carries Gradius. I often brick playing it. I mean, sometimes you will. Sometimes you will. Rebels, for me, is a solid tier 2 deck. I think this deck is really cool. I think it does a lot. It now has a way to deal with back row, which is pretty nice. Obviously, it's not the best way to deal with back row, but it is a... Oh, sneeze. It is still a good way to deal with back row. And when you pop your opponent's back row, you can then also pop an opponent's monster, which is also really, really good. Has a way to beat set monsters, which is something this deck has always really lacked. I think this deck is good. I think people... I feel like people are on one of two sides. I think there are a lot of people that think... not Gradius. People think Royal Rebel is, like, unbelievably insane. They think it's, like, the most powerful deck in the format. And then there's other people that are just like, Royal Rebel is complete ass, people are just forcing it, it's only getting wins because too many people are playing it, and if you have if you have 20 people playing the tournament, obviously it's going to top, right? I personally think it lands somewhere in the middle. I think this is a really strong deck. I think it's good. I don't think it is absolutely insane. I don't think it's like a tier 1 deck, but I don't think it's like a tier 3 deck. I think tier 2 suits this deck perfectly. It is a good, strong deck. Maybe next year. Hay fever. I mean, yeah, I never used to get hay fever. I swear, like, starting this year, I've started getting hay fever, and I don't know why. I do not know why. I approve this position. All right, we are in an ad break, so we'll just let the ads tick away. Actually, while the ads are playing, I'm going to do auto duels. Because you can't hear it anyway. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back from the ads, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We have Luis Fernando in chat. Gradius in tier 2. Yeah, so we just finished talking about Gradius. Again, if we were talking entirely tournament results, yeah, Gradius would be a tier 1 deck. But we're not doing entirely tournament results, right? We're using tournaments as a guideline, not as a, answer sheet. So for me, I think Gradius is a solid top of tier 2 deck. Personally. I mean, Death Doom pretty much wins if it resolves. I mean, yeah, but does it resolve? That's another question. And also, it comes down to, is your opponent playing around it correctly? I think Rebels finds itself in a situation where Rebels forces your opponent to play smarter, right? Royal Rebels is not the most complicated deck to play yourself, right? It can be. I think it is. It does require a little bit of brain power to pilot this deck, like, efficiently. But, more than that, if your opponent just misplays or doesn't know the matchup, Rebels will punish your opponent so unbelievably hard. If your opponent sets back row when they shouldn't, you can immediately punish. If your opponent sets too many monsters, or sets, like, too few monsters, you can punish that. If your opponent leaves too many monsters face up, you can punish that. There are so many things that the Royal Rebel deck can do to punish your opponent. But most of the time, a smart player can just play around what you think your opponent could have and then just shut the deck down. That's not always going to happen. Sometimes the deck's just strong enough that it's going to be able to beat you through that, right? But Rebels looks more like tier 3. I personally think they are the definition of a tier 2 deck. I think Rebels is not the strongest deck in the game, not a weak deck. To me, it is around Gradius level, just a little bit under it. That is how I see it. People just make an auto top. Where's the Pyro Fusion tops? Don't worry, Pyro Fusion is coming. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. Have 997 box chips. Give me a card to get that I hope isn't at 3 copies. Machina Gear Frame. Alright. Moving on. So we talked about this, we talked about this, we talked about this, we talked about this. We haven't talked about Chemicalized yet. Ooh. What do we think about Chemicalized, guys? Where are you? Down here. What do we think about this? This might be a divisive one. I think there are going to be people that think it should go here. I think there are also people that think it should go here. And I think there are people that think it should go here. What do I think about this deck? For me, this is probably at maximum going here. I think this is the highest I would put it. Like, it's not like the highest rating, but I think this deck is a little bit better than some people give it credit for. Some level then Gradius, not. Same level than Gradius? No, I think it's the same level as Gradius. I think that makes sense. Chemicalized is better than Rebels, in my opinion. Ooh, that is some spice from Dwan. I like this deck. I think it's good. This is a deck that can play through quite easily the new trap card. It does, however, get completely shut down by Shady. Like, absolutely shut down by Shady, which makes it feel quite bad. Now, the counter to that is just open back row hate and just hit the Shady. And also it comes down to, is your opponent even playing Shady? So, in some situations, I think it's actually really good. And in some situations, it's going to be rather middling. And because of that, I think if your opponent isn't playing Shady, if everyone's playing Star Pro, if you get the right matchups, I think this is easily like a tier 2 deck. I think if your opponent's playing Shady, and your opponent's playing everything they need to hard counter you, you're a high rogue deck. So for me, I think this goes tier 3. I own 0 copies of Gearframe. That's wild. Heroes should go here, but is that just because you don't like heroes, rather than like you think heroes are actually weak? Super Archer is the MVP of that deck. Big body guy and debuffer. Yeah. I mean, just going it to 5,500, it's not too difficult to make your opponent have 0 attack. So just getting in for 55 is really nice. Then you can obviously use just a little bit of burn to just finish them off. Like, it's not too difficult to stick like this and a Salamander. Get your opponent down to 0 attack. And then, like, let's say you got 2 back row hate. That's immediately 600 burn. And you've gotten rid of your opponent's trap cards. You can just win the game. But it kind of depends on the situation, right? No way it's lower than Rebels. I don't know why you would think it wouldn't be. Top of Rogue, I think. Can we talk about the Execute Your Harpy deck in recent tournaments, please? No, we're not going to talk about those. Because that's just Tsukimura. We're not going to talk about those. It has a top in tournament, so bottom of 3 or top of high Rogue. Yeah, I think Corey's got the right kind of idea there. A lot of people playing Pyro for him to top. It's just a number of players. That logic kind of falls apart, though, when you start thinking about it as, like, 5 people played it and it's still topped. Like, 5 people is not enough to just force it. That's not how maths works. I'm sorry. I used to like... it can play around Shady. How do you play around Shady playing this deck? I'm curious what the line is to play around Shady. Because, like, for some decks, it's quite easy, right? Heroes can slam down their Burst Wingman. And then if your opponent has a Shady, they're kind of forced to react to it. Otherwise, they don't. If you're playing something like Music Princess, you could summon out your boss. They Shady it. Then you can summon out Trombo, flip the guy up. What is their line? Secret Order and Chromatographicus. So what we're saying is the line to play around Shady is to just go wide with Chromat. But then what do you do if your opponent's just playing, like, defensive? Like, I think that comes down to another situation where it's like if everything has just worked out correctly. So I don't personally think that is good enough. I think this deck will just still lose to Shady really bad. Where I was at is the top 6 or so decks have incredibly small margins between each other, all of which are valid decks, inclusive of Pyro. Yes. I agree with Volt. Right, so I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to just show you where some of this is going. This is going behind this, and this is probably going down here, right? So for me, I think this, and this are the main decks of this format. I think it's these 6. And I think all 6 of these decks are good enough that I think you could just say this, right? You could do this. So it depends how we're breaking up the tiers, right? But for me, I think these 2 decks feel a little bit weaker than these 3, and this one feels a little bit weaker than these 2. But these are all very, very close. All in on going fusion straight away. Turn 2 is too risky. You better play the 33 level 7 beat down turn 2. I mean, yeah, absolutely can do that. If they play defensively, you could force Shady with a fusion because you keep resources. Yeah, but my point is, if they're defensive and you go into a fusion monster to force the Shady, you force the Shady, but they still have 3 defense position monsters, right? So now it's like, what is our way to beat? I guess it depends on the board state, right? Your opponent can't just defend forever unless they have an OTK strategy, right? But I guess Rebels can OTK. Obviously, Heroes can OTK. Red Boot can OTK. I mean, I guess any of these decks can OTK. It depends though, right? Because some of these decks OTK easier through certain traps than others. So, it sort of depends. Pyrofusion looks like top of high rogue to me, but I take the last of the tier 3. I think, though, for you, Louise, I think you would move this around a lot, and you would probably have less in the top 3 tiers. That was what I would assume you would have. Rainopolis could go to 2 next ban list. I mean, it could. I don't think it necessarily should. I think, in my opinion, this deck has already had its time in the sun. It doesn't need to just linger as this, like, other deck that's just kind of still there. This deck can be quite annoying. And also, it's been sort of power crept a little bit. I don't think this deck has a particularly good matchup into Red Eyes. I don't think it has a particularly good matchup with the Heroes. I think it can get massively punished by Gradius. It gets unbelievably punished by Royal Rebels. I wish the current event would have a ×3 option or something. I have too many tokens. Yes, I feel exactly the same way, Corey. The current event is so annoying when it's like, I'm going to spend 12 each time. It's like, how many have you got? Oh, 2,000. It's like, okay, I guess I'm just going to sit here for the next 2 hours clicking auto duel, which is just, it's not the end of the world. It is just mildly frustrating, right? Hear me out. With the knowledge of knowing how patterns work, Rushbox is May 9th. I mean, I guess it could be. But, like, the logic we had before was... We can find it. The logic that I heard that I liked was... Where was it? Mid-May bonus trial. So it'll come out here. So it'll come out, quote-unquote, mid-May. Whatever we're counting mid-May as, right? Red Boot can pass the set 3. Oh yeah, we weren't talking about Red Boot though. We were talking about Pyro. Oh, I see. You're replying to Dwan. I see. Honestly, Pyro is pretty similar to Red Boot. Yes. I would make the argument though. Red Boot is better. So, one, as Louise said, you can get past set 3 a lot easier because you are just going to have Flap Dragon. I think it's Flap Dragon, not Flip Dragon. That can just flip a guy up. Second, the deck has multiple win cons that are all quite good, right? You can do the multi-attack strategy with the contact fusion, which you don't even have to contact fusion. Most of the time you won't even contact fuse it. You could also just burn your opponent a bunch, not even kill them in that turn. And because they're already low enough, you could then finish them off with burn on a following turn, which is also really, really good. This deck also doesn't get shut down by Shady as much as it used to. It still does. But now, quite often, if your boss monster gets flipped down, you can tribute over it, put it back into your extra deck, and then summon out again. Now, that's not going to happen in, like, super commonly, but that is now something the deck can do, right? Tag Force Song, exactly, Shelby, exactly. I love the Tag Force games. They're so good, so good. Only the draw and play Flap, otherwise it's the same as Pyro in that regard. Yes. I mean, it's not quite the same, because Pyro can just sit there and burn for a bunch, but let's be honest. If you're playing, or if Red Boot can, if you're playing Red Boot, or you're playing High Tech, you're not really ever going to kill your opponent with just burn damage, are you? Like, the game is not going to be in a state where you're able to just keep burning your opponent again and again and again and again and again, and eventually get them to 0. I think that might happen, like, once in a blue moon. That's not going to be your actual primary win condition almost ever, right? Pyro is just people like Pyro. I understand why you're saying that, Louise, but I don't think that is true. I think people do like Pyro. I don't want to pretend they don't, because they do. But I do think people see a lot of potential in the Pyro deck, which is a big reason why people have been playing it. Now, if there were like 12 Pyro entering every single tournament, and then Pyro kept getting top 4s, I think then you would have an argument for, like, you know, people are just standing the deck, therefore it's getting lots of tops. But that's not what we're seeing. So that's my take on it. 3 days after Rush character event, Zuijo Manabu Euro rerun now, which is what we want to see. Oh yeah. What we played in WCQ. What do you think Hear Me Out qualifier will be? Because I'm busy the whole May weekend except one single week. I mean, it's hard to know, right? Realistically. Guesses Euro rerun starts 11:05. I mean, it could do. I mean, agree with that. Yes, there's many people who like Pyro, but it's also a good deck. Yeah, that's how I feel. I think, for me, Pyro is a deck that can be unbelievably strong. Like I say, in the right hands, against the right deck, I think it is absolutely incredible. But I don't think it is universal enough that it can play against every single deck and get the same results every time. I think it's going to be very dependent on what your opponent is playing, in the same way that Red Boot can be, right? If your opponent isn't playing trap cards that specifically interrupt your dragon and your fusion play, you can just kind of kill them. But if they are playing a bunch of those trap cards, you don't really get to play the game. So, like, it's an interesting sort of dynamic that it falls into. Hello. Sorry, I've been visited by a dog. Hello. What are you doing? I've lost my train of thought now. I'm sorry. Dog comes first, guys. I'm sorry. The stream is irrelevant compared to seeing the dog. Hello. Hello. How you doing? I'd pick you up, but I don't think you like being picked up, right? Would you? I don't think you'd like that. But that's my thoughts. I think you could easily bump this up to here. I think you could, like I said, I think you could put all of these 6 into like the top tier, and that would be completely fine. I think some people might also rate this lower than I rate it. Clear answer to the question. The weekend is stage 2 for Rush. I want to like this deck, but I end up frustrated while playing it. I want to say Dark Galaxy could be strong with some new support. I mean, we're getting new support, right? Theoretically, we're getting the new Contact Fusion, which should be really good. To be fair, we haven't had the same number of Join Tech or another High Rogue. We probably have the same result with Pyro, but I don't think Pyro is a bad deck. I don't know about Spellcasters. It seems like they're in a state. Same set as last year when it's played a lot, but is air. I mean, Spellcasters hasn't had a top 4 finish yet, right? Like, just straight up. So, it's one of those... It's definitely underperforming compared. But I think this is actually going to be a really hard deck to place, personally. I generally don't think knowledge of... With the knowledge now, Dragon will do shit. When you say Dragon, are you talking about, like, the new dragons? Sevens is Rogue. Heroes will always be a problem as long as Shining Flare exists. Yeah, feels like High Tech, but worse. Like Noodles is worse Meteor. Yes. That's how I feel about it anyway. But I think there are some subtle differences, right? Whereas it's kind of hard to be like Noodles is anything other than worse Red Eyes, because they basically do exactly the same thing. The difference is, I guess, you can do more with Noodles if you get an entire turn of setup. But like, how often is that going to happen, right? You alright, that little one? What are you doing? What are you doing? Right, the dog has left. You have my full undivided attention once again. Pyro is definitely not Rogue unless you think Rebels are Rogue. I do not think Pyro is Rogue, personally. I think there are some people that will put it down there. I personally do not think that. As for the decks in High Rogue, I think we probably bump Noodles up a bit. We might even bump this up. I think this actually has a better matchup spread into the current metagame than Aqua does, to be honest. And then there's Light Galaxy as well. I don't actually think Light Galaxy is in an awful spot. It's just Light Galaxy is still really bad into Shady, right? This deck is still quite bad into that card. But if you're not hit with the Shady, or if you're able to play through Shady, which you can do sometimes, you just need very specific hands, it's actually quite well built to deal with the current metagame. If Star Pro sees more play, then having a single attack monster is really, really good. Which is how you're going to win games. You're going to summon out Eternal Galactic Oblivion, you're going to activate Lyca's effect, you're going to attack, GG's. On top of the fact, it also has protection from Widespread, which is also seeing widespread play. So, Light Galaxy would be good if their skill wasn't once per duel. I feel the same. I played this. I got top 16 in Grand's event. And I could have made it to top 8 if I was playing around Rice Terrace Secure, which, I'm not going to lie, guys, I didn't realise I had to play around Rice Terrace. So, that is my fault. But if I had played around Rice Terrace, I would have 2-0'd and I would have made it to top 8 with this deck. So I think this deck is not bad. Obviously, it's hard to tell how far you would have gone beyond that. But I actually think I'd bump this up to like here. I genuinely think this is actually a really strong contender. It's just not quite as strong as the other decks. Join Tech back with Card Trooper. I don't think Card Trooper does anything meaningful to Join Tech. It doesn't, like, fix any of Join Tech's issues. It doesn't, like, add an extra level of play. It doesn't raise the ceiling. The deck already has the ability to mill a bunch. I don't think it really matters, realistically. Another problem with Light Galaxy, he need more play more speed and traps now. Yes, I don't think that matters too much. The issue with deck building like Galaxy is you have so many like mandatory spells that you kind of need Secret Order. If you're not playing Secret Order, I guess you could play... I think you just need Secret Order, realistically. Because, like, otherwise it can become really difficult to actually go into the Eternal. Like, sometimes it's fine, right? Sometimes you can just go into Eve. Eve bring back it's like Galactic Oblivion, go into your Fusion, hunky-dory. Sometimes it's not that easy. So I feel like you kind of need Secret Order at some number. Then you kind of need 3 Fusion, because that's how the skill works, and that's how the deck works. You need the Fusion spell card. So that's already 6 slots taken up. Then it's like, you're a Legend spell, okay? That's now 7 spell traps. So now you only have, like, maximum 3 other spots, because you need a critical mass of monsters. Not to mention the deck is going to be playing, what, 3 Oblivion and 3 copies of Boat. That's 6 bosses. And you need to make sure you have enough monsters every turn, because a lot of these decks will absolutely punish you if you don't set 3 monsters every turn. The big one being Red Eyes, right? I would have made top 4 with Pyro if I didn't misplay with my skill game 2. Exactly. That's what I mean. You can't just look at tournament results and see that as the be-all end-all. Like, they don't tell the whole story, right? It could have been going against Shock Dragon. Yeah, that Shock Dragon play came out of nowhere and was wild. Because it was what? Was it a human playing the maximum against, and then the Shock Dragon came down from baseball? Like, it was very, very strange. Hello, Islet. Welcome, welcome. A very late hello from the train station. Well, I hope your travels go well today. I understand that depending on which country you're in, the traveling can be even hit, make 1 top 4 with baseball meme list. I mean, baseball still can just win, right? Like, it might not be as strong as it was, but baseball still has a line of play that will kill through most things, right? So, how is everything? I had an embarrassing but okay day. Started uni. Ooh! So we're actually jumping into university. It's always an interesting one. That was a shocking play. Exactly, Nia. Exactly. So now comes the hard part. What do we do with Rogue? This deck is a weird one. I don't think this would go in any tier. I think it's probably High Rogue. Like, maybe here? like bottom of High Rogue is kind of where this feels. I played this deck a bunch. And it's a really weird... So I don't know if anyone watched my video that I put out about this. This deck is... Like, it's better than it was. It is better. But it's not... It's not like... Like, it's increased from, like a 6 to, like, a 6.2, right? It's better, but it's not actually gone up enough to make it, like, actually strong. But when I played this on ladder, I went on such a ridiculous streak. I had to stop myself from cogging at one point because I was winning so many games, because people would just, like, see the deck and scoop. And then the decks, when I actually played the game, a lot of the time I would just, like, beat people. So my win rate with this deck was insane. But I still don't think this is a good deck. At least not as good as the other decks on this list. Seventh is Rogue. I'm waiting for the second half of support next box. Master XL Rogue makes me so mad. Yeah, it's definitely a very triggering deck. We could probably cut some stuff out of here now, right? Like, let's be honest. I don't think this is seeing any play at all. I think this. Do we leave this in just for Quantum? Is this like the Quantum token spot? I think maybe you could bump this up to like here. Maybe we bump this up as well. I really like Neos, but I don't think Neos needs to be here anymore. What about me? I tried stuff. Baz, you never play in tournaments. Like, you play ladder and then you just ping us screenshots. I don't have much to go off on that. Plus, you can cog with anything. Right? So it's like, just ladder gameplay doesn't give me enough to go on. Neos out, unfortunately. I really like Neos. I really like this deck. I think it's a really fun deck to play. I just don't think it's good enough anymore. Like, Rogue is basically... Like, you could put all of these in Rogue. But for me, Rogue is like something you would actually think about playing. And I don't think most people are going to think about playing Neos. Can you cog with insects? Now, that is a question. So I cogged with Sea Serpents, but I think Sea Serpents was arguably, when it first came out, a bit more playable than insects. So... Neos new cards waiting room. When Neos gets some new cards, man, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there playing them. It's going to be so good. Alright, is there anything else that needs to be moved? Right, I like this tier. I like this tier. I like this tier. I know some people might disagree with some of this, but I like these. I think these are fine. High Rogue, I think this is fine. I don't think anything's changed from here. So it's just Rogue. It's just like, do we take some more stuff out of here? Like, do we care about this? Like, maybe we can move Matarian down. Tearfing is a deck... I'm always hesitant to remove Tearfing, because it just always keeps coming back. This deck just always comes back. Tearfing can out... Tearfing can out too. I don't know what you mean by that. Is your tier list... Do what you think is right? I mean, yeah, but... Like, because we do this on stream, I think it's good to get input. Because, like, if someone drops a knowledge bomb that makes me rethink something, I think that's really helpful, right? Because then, like, one, it's good to just have a conversation, right? It's good to just talk about it, because you might learn something you didn't know. And second off, if I can think about something in a different way that makes me shift my opinion on something, I think that's also really valuable. But hello, Pokemaster Ian. Insect is not a good deck. A V-Friend deck should be removed because it's not that good deck. So V-Friend is not... V-Friend is a weird one. V-Friend, I think, has the potential to beat any other deck, which is really weird to say. The issue is you have to sack your opponent. But if you do, it pops off so hard. And the thing is, I think this deck does more with less, right? If you get the graveyard set up, and if you're able to just find your boss, you can just wipe your opponent's entire board and hit them for like 9,000 damage. Like, it is so insane what you can do with this deck. The problem is, how often is that going to happen? Right? Tomato, can I do song suggestions, aka I raid your music playlist in? I mean, you can always suggest music. V-Friend was pretty good until the new trap. Yeah, the new trap does kind of mess it up. Ah, you're not wrong. The new trap is really annoying for VFriend. That probably bumps it down quite a lot, actually. No, Baj, not allowed to post links in my chat. We have the anti-bot stuff. If you want to post it, you have to post it on Discord. A lot of stuff that, with people going back to an old deck and get some tops. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, people want to try out some of the older stuff now that they've already tried out the newer stuff. Where's Floodgate Maximum? He's down here. He's hanging out. Or maybe if you top with this deck a human, it would bump up a bit more. I don't think any of these need to come up. Like Mono probably is trying to bring this deck back as hard as he can, but it's just, I don't know if we're going to go with it. Maybe we just leave it like this. What we could do is literally move this right to the bottom, since this is just the Quantum Cubes token. I've just posted some more in Datamine's channel. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ritual summons performed. This is now usable in the player profile. Rush records without a maintenance. Does this mean something immediate? No. Just like that post. It is fun to give you cope based on real data mines. Yes. Yeah, so it's basically a nothing. It's a big fat nothing. But now we know. That's good to know, I suppose. So, I think that's it for the tier list, you know. I think that's everything. I think we've kind of come to the conclusions. I mean, we can take a look at this as well. So this is the current table. So what we're not seeing is this. This is the funniest stat to me. Like, this genuinely, if I make this a bit bigger, just in case you can't see it. To me, this is the funniest stat in this entire table, on this entire spreadsheet. Which is just Seven's Road just keeps getting into top 8, but cannot clear top 8. And I love that so much. Can you show the database thing again? I mean, this spreadsheet is available to be seen by anyone. There's a link to it on my Discord server. Now, we have 3 different places in Duel Links that mention Rush Rituals. One of those, even since before the game came out. Exactly. 7 equals Seven's Road? No way. Exactly. It's so amusing to me. Because like, it's such an outlier. Look, right? 11, 6, 5, 5, 5, 3, 1, 1, 1, 7, 1, 1, 1. Like, I love it so much. So, I think that's pretty much everything we want to do today. Because we're not going to be playing anything today. I guess the one last thing I did want to mention, this is something that someone linked me, which looks weird. So this is an unofficial Yu-Gi-Oh game that is like a free... I don't want to call it like an MMO, but it's like a multiplayer online game. And it's just weird. It's just weird. Hello, Tomato. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hello, United. Welcome, welcome on in. Rituals in September or New Year? I mean, they could be. I mean, Seven's probably going to get Wonder Fusion and going to make Triple Board Boss. Yeah, I think if they get Wonder Fusion, which looks likely, I think it's going to be really good. Wasn't Rush Ritual and OCG actually leaked on Duel Links? The thing is, it's been like, quote-unquote, leaked like 4 times. It's never actually anything. Until the cards are actually put in the files, don't believe any of it. September High Hope. No, OCG released way earlier. I sent the music in Discord. Okay, we'll listen to Baj's music. Xenosaga 3. Okay, we'll pause this. Hopefully this is going to be at the correct volume. We'll listen to this whilst I talk about this. So this is some weird, like I don't want to say like MMO, but like you have like a character with like a name above your head. You can walk around and see other people playing the game. You have like... I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. But yeah, there's like... online stools. So it looks like people could sell cards to each other. I just thought this looked weird. So I might play this. Probably not on stream. I'll probably play this on my own time at some point. But like this it just looks weird. Right? Like, it's so ghetto as well. Like, you could just duel and trade and stuff. It's got, like, I assume it's just all the old cards based on, like, looking at this. Oh my god, it's Supremo? Oh, is that like a rarity? A Supreme Rare. Okay. Dark Hole. Yo, is that Rush card Meteor Dragon? Looks like some AI slop UI. I think AI would do a better job at UI than this, personally. I think calling this AI is a big compliment. Look, even Rush Star Fortress Whale is in here. Oh my god, look at this battle scene, guys. Tell me this doesn't look like peak Yu-Gi-Oh! You have a little sprite of Yugi. You have a little sprite of Tristan, who, by the way, they're like the same height. Actually, they are no way the same height. Oh my god. We have, like, actual 2D models for their cards. Is this DNA surgery? There is an artwork, a 2D sprite for DNA surgery. Why would you go that extra? Isn't this RPG Maker? I mean, it could be. What is this again? This is called... It says at the top here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dimensions. You only have 3 zones as well, so it might be, like, Speed Duel adjacent. You get 8,000 life points. We know that. This is your hand at the bottom. These are your phases. Like, this is so ghetto, but I love this sort of thing. Like, I absolutely love this sort of, like I said, just kind of ghetto Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. I think this is so fun. Even, it's got the field spell. They're in the Gaia Power field spell. Oh my god. Goes so hard. So these are booster packs. Toon Pack, Mix Pack Volume 3, Mix Pack Volume 2, Mix Pack Volume 1. Let's turn the music back on. Let's get out of Bayonetta. Perfect. Expedition 33. So, like, you earn gold by the look of this. And then you buy packs. I don't know how much packs... Oh, they cost 16 gold each. So he could buy, like, 1,000 packs right now. This is the fan game. I mean, I've never heard of this before. Like, before today. But someone pinged this to me. And they were like, would this be something to be interested in? And I'm like... I could play this. This looks like it could be a bit fun. But I just thought it was weird. I just wanted to see if anyone else had even heard of this. But I think that is probably going to be us done. Like I say, I don't really have any, like, dueling to do. Like, the video that I'm going to be working on for the rest of the day is going to be the tier list video. So I don't really need to get a bunch of, like, replays for anything going. I need to do some grinding. So there's that. And I still need to, like, make food at some point. So that is probably going to be us done for today. We can see if there's anyone we can raid. We hop over to here. Is anyone streaming? I mean, we could stream Loom. Stream Loom. We could raid Loom. I have not spoken to Loom very much, I will say. My most interaction with Loom is that he was in my Shadowverse guild. That is the most conversation I have had with Loom. So we're going to go and raid Loom. Forgot to share the grind tournament. Oh, yes. I did forget to do that. I'll post it in chat. There you go, guys. Starry Rush Cup 17 Swiss edition happening today. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye!
Managed to get this card with the Galaxy in hand, right? We could arrange this up into Typhon and then just leave it. Did this deck have Typhon?